I bought the cassette. That was my whole decision, made in about 4 seconds in the summer of 2021, mostly because it was $1 cheaper and I liked that it was gray. I did not own a tape deck. I have never in my life owned a tape deck, but the little melting butter heart was on the case and it was $6.98 and I clicked buy before I could think about it too hard, and then more or less immediately I started wondering about the vinyl. Because when BTS dropped Butter, there wasn't one physical single. There were two, a 7-inch record and a cassette. Same song, same butter heart on the front, both released June 18th, both straight from the BTS US Store. The vinyl was $7.98. The cassette, mine, was $6.98, $1 apart. And I have spent an embarrassing amount of time since then trying to figure out whether that dollar meant I'd made the right call or quietly cheaped out on a piece of history. Here's what makes it not a simple question. These two objects made completely opposite choices about almost everything: how much music they actually held, what they were pressed on, how they packaged it, and which one people are now paying real money to track down. Same song, same day, same heart on the front, totally different objects. So this is me finally doing the comparison I should have done before I clicked buy. Vinyl versus cassette, Butter edition all the way down. And I'll tell you now, I'm not sure I picked wrong, but I'm not sure I picked right either. Let's start with the thing I didn't know when I clicked buy, which is what actually comes in the box. My cassette is gray, light gray, almost the color of a rain cloud, with the title and the BTS logo printed right on the shell on both sides. It sits in a standard clear plastic case, the same kind any tape came in back when people actually bought tapes. And the melting butter heart is on the front insert. Nothing fancy, it feels like a real object, has a little weight to it, and the case cracks if you look at it wrong. Mine's cracked, of course it's cracked. The vinyl is a different animal. 7 inches, black wax with a yellow center label that has the title and the logo on it. It slides into a yellow paper sleeve with that same butter heart on the front. And it spins at 45 revolutions per minute, which is the standard for a single. So far, so normal. Except here's the part that made me sit up when I finally looked it up. The vinyl is single-sided. One side has butter on it, the other side is blank. Smooth, unplayed, nothing. You are paying $7.98 for a record that is, by design, half record. Now flip that over to my cassette. The tape is double-sided. Butter is on side A, and then Butter is also on side B. Same song, both directions. So if you're keeping score at home, the cheaper object technically gives you the song twice, and the more expensive object gives it to you once and then a blank slab of vinyl to admire, which sounds like a slam dunk for the tape until you understand why the record is built that way. And it is not because someone at the pressing plant got lazy. A single-sided 7-inch is a deliberate thing. It's a collector's format. Think of it as the record equivalent of a display piece. The blank side isn't a mistake, it's the flex. It says this is a limited object, not a jukebox filler. Whether that flex is worth an extra dollar to you is, I'm realizing, entirely a personality test. And the packaging tells the same story from the other direction. Paper sleeve versus plastic case. The vinyl's yellow sleeve is prettier and more fragile, the thing you'd frame. The cassette's plastic case is uglier and tougher, the thing that actually survived 4 years in a shoebox. My cracked case still protected the tape. A paper sleeve would have been a soft, sad, butter-colored square by now. Okay, but how do they actually sound? This is the part where I have to be honest with you, because I've done the research and the answer's a little funny. For most people who bought these, the answer is they don't. They don't sound like anything because most of us never played them. I've mentioned I don't own a tape deck. I bet the majority of people who bought the vinyl don't own a turntable that takes a 7-inch, and if they do, they're not putting a limited butter yellow collectible on the platter to wear down the grooves. These objects were bought to be owned, not spun. That's the quiet truth of a lot of modern physical singles. But say you do play them, say you're one of the maybe 5% who actually has the hardware. Now the formats genuinely diverge. Vinyl at 45 revolutions per minute on a 7-inch gives you the warmer, fuller sound, the thing analog nerds actually chase. More groove space per second means more information, and Butter is a bright, punchy, bass-forward pop song that has room to breathe on wax. It's a legitimately good listen. The catch is that 7-inch singles are fussy. You get one song, it's over in 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and then you're up out of your chair flipping or restarting, except you can't even flip this one because the other side is blank, so it's a 2 minute and 44 second commitment and then silence. The cassette is the opposite trade. Tape is noisier, there is a floor of hiss, the high end is softer, and Butter's crisp little synth details get a bit of a blanket thrown over them. It is objectively the lower fidelity format, but because the song is on both sides, you can let it run. Side A ends, you flip, side B is butter again. It's the closest thing 2021 physical media had to a loop button. For a song literally engineered to be replayed, there's something almost too on the nose about that, so the record sounds better and stops. The tape sounds worse and keeps going. And I bought the one that keeps going, which, given that Butter is a song I have played approximately 9,000 times, might have accidentally been the correct instinct. Here's where it stops being a tie, and here's where I finally find out whether I messed up. Both of these sold out, but they didn't sell out equally. The vinyl went first and it went fast. The 7-inch was the one that vanished from the BTS US Store and Weverse almost immediately, the one people were refreshing pages for. The cassette hung around a little longer. At the time, that felt like proof I'd bought the lesser object. The record was the hot ticket. I had the leftovers. Cut to now. Go look at the resale listings. Both formats command real money on the secondhand market. We are talking multiples of that original $7 or $8 because these were limited, US Store only pressings tied to a specific chart moment that is never coming back. The vinyl generally pulls the higher number because vinyl almost always does. It's the format collectors treat as the trophy, but the sealed cassette is not far behind, and here is the twist that made me feel slightly less foolish because more people chased the vinyl and treated the cassette as the throwaway. Fewer cassettes got kept in mint, sealed condition. Scarcity in good condition is its own kind of value. Now let me stop for a second because if you're still here, you're probably doing the same math I did. You bought one of these, or you're about to, and you want to know if you picked right. Here's the actual answer, and it's not the one the resale charts give you. You didn't buy a record or a tape, you bought a receipt. A little physical proof that you were there in the summer of 2021, that you spent $7 to put a number on a chart for a group you loved back when that felt like the most useful thing in the world you could do with $7. The blank vinyl side, the hiss on the tape, the cracked case, none of that is the point. The point is the butter heart on the front and what it meant the week you clicked buy. So did I pick wrong? On paper, kind of. I bought the cheaper one, the slower selling one, the one that sounds worse, but nobody's paper is the same as mine. So here's the verdict, because comparing the vinyl versus cassette releases of butter really just comes down to which one is actually yours. The buy this if you're this kind of army answer, since I promised you one. Buy the vinyl if you frame things, if you're the kind of person who wants the trophy, the display object, the yellow sleeve on a shelf where people can see it. The single-sided 7-inch was built for exactly you, blank side and all. It looks the best, it holds its resale value the best, and the fact that it's half a record on purpose is the whole appeal. It's the flex. Own the flex. Buy the cassette if you're honest about how you actually live with music. It's cheaper, it's tougher, it survived the shoebox, and it gives you the song on both sides for people who are always going to hit replay anyway. It's the underdog format, which right now in sealed condition quietly makes it the more interesting one to have kept, and buy both if what you're really after is the complete set from a summer that isn't coming back, which, let's be honest, is most of us. As for me, I bought the cassette in about 4 seconds because it was $1 cheaper and I liked that it was gray, and then I spent 4 years wondering if I cheaped out on history. I dug it out to make this. The case is still cracked, I still don't own a tape deck, and I'm still not gonna buy the vinyl because the gray one is mine. And it turns out the thing I actually bought that summer was never really about which side the song was on.